Let's take a look at some practical examples. Now, please note that these practical examples, they are going to be purely indicator trading, nothing else, and even some of the rules I'll be ignoring here, the ones that I've been teaching you. This lesson, I want you to take a look at a general concept, the general structures of the waves above and beyond the trigger for our entries. So to speak, the practical examples of the signals. And of course, some of these signals could have been avoided by simply using one of the rules, such as ATR, the spike rule, and so on and so forth, all the ones that I was teaching you before. Now, the purpose of this lesson for you to see the different structures of waves above and beyond the trigger. Now, let's take apart just one single day. So this day is actually Thursday from the last week, and we are starting with the beginning of the day. And of course, there is no major trend consultation. This is purely 1 minute indicator trading. So let's do this. Now, here is the opening of the market, 9 a.m. On the bottom here in the column, you can see the time. So here we have started trading. Now we are looking for a signal, the beginning, the first signal to start our day off with. Now we are looking for a wave above or beyond a trigger. So in here we start seeing something that we are looking for. Now at the beginning of the next candle we enter. So we enter around 13,200. So as you can see, this is a very vivid example of a wave beyond a trigger. What happened before? Nothing. It was quite slow, so we cannot really say anything about these broken peaks and strange looking structure in the stochastic. So the market opened just around here at 9 o'clock, so all we care about is what happens afterwards. So we enter here and we use our technical stop here, which is gonna be around 8 points. So our take profit will be 24 points. So remember, here we are using 1-to-3 ratio of the stop size to our take profit. So we take the stop, we calculate it, we see that the stop is 8 points, and we multiply it by 3, and this is how we get our take profit, which we also set out into the chart so that it will close automatically. And here, of course, we either close the trade manually, so we see a technical reason, so that we see a weakness in the trend, or we see a signal in the opposite direction or divergence, and we see that the trend is weakening, we might leave the trade. Or the second option is the best one, is when the take profit is taken. So let's see what happens next. And here is, by the way, our take profit. And right here, the take profit has automatically closed our trade with plus 24 points. So once again, this was our stop, this was our take profit level. We opened the trade here with the wave beyond the trigger, and pay attention to the bars. So as we can see, this one is our signal candle. This is the signal candle, and this is the correlating bar. And as you can see, it is larger than the one before. So it confirms that when this signal finishes, when this candle finishes, we have a signal, and the next one is our entry candle. So the beginning of the next candle, just the same second as it opens, we click sell. Now let's see what happens afterwards. Here we can see right away that we have a divergency. You see that this wave is lower than the one before in the price. However, in the MACD, this wave is higher than the one before. So we have a divergence. It's not a perfect one. There is no 50% rule for the divergency here, but it still is a sign of a weakness. And so is the stochastic telling us the same thing. This peak here is higher than the one before. Now let's see if we find a signal, and yes, we do. At the end of this, as this candle finishes, we do have a signal, and we can enter at the beginning of the next candle as we did right here. And our stop is lower, 10 points lower. So our take profit is actually, in this case, 30 points, and it's located right here. So let's see what happens next. And we are stopped out. So we just lost 8 points. And it's automatic, and we could have left here. If you see that it's moving against us right away, we could have left it manually at the crossover of the MACD. However, our stop has worked automatically prior to the chance of closing it manually. So we've lost 10 points here. Then let's see what happens further. And here we have another wave beyond the trigger, and it's somehow a signal into the trend. We can see that the trend is working, going down. So this is a signal into the trend, and our entry is right here at the beginning of this candle. Obviously, again, look at the bars, and we have a really nice stochastic hook beyond the neutral, and also the MACD wave beyond the trigger. And our stop is going to be located right here, and it's going to be 8 points. So our take profit is going to be set out to be at 4 points lower. And as we can see, it's again not working. So we are stopped out right here and we lose 8 points. So once again, it's an automatic stop. Here it did not go against us right away. It showed us a chance of going down perhaps. So I did not leave it just at the crossover, and I was stopped out. So, well, it is okay. These kinds of things happen, and this will happen to you as well. When you've started the day off with a great trade of 24 points and you lose 18 in the next 2 trades, this is fine. This is okay. This happens, and there's nothing to do with it. So let's see what happens further. And there is no real structure, no real nice signal. Something here, but I don't really like it. It's quite late. Let's see what happens next. And here we can see this nasty signal into falling, which we do take. Well, it looks okay, but I mean nasty because it did not work out. Here we enter into the falling, and our stop is 8 points right here, and our take profit is going to be at 24 points below, so right here. But I left it as the MACD crossed back over with power. I left it at the beginning of this candle, and this way I've lost only 2 points. So I did not wait for the stop, and that's the way I explained to you in the previous lesson. Now let's see what happens next. Here there was some kind of a signal into climbing, however, and the stairs in stochastic looked quite nice, but I did not take it for 2 reasons. First, we had a nice working climbing trend starting from here, and this position is so late. The range of the moves in this day is quite small, and the expectation was not there, and I did not expect it to continue very much, and so I did not take it. It was just simply too late. I love taking the signals that are in the very beginning of a potential trend and not in the end. And this is the reason why this kind of these kinds of trades, I don't really like. This is the same as this trade for falling that we did, and it was a late one as well, and quite honestly I don't like them, and as you can see did not work out, but I still tried it. But I don't want to and I don't want to make the same mistake here. So seeing the way the day was developing, I did not take this signal right here. And also, as you can see, the position of the MACD signal right here, the MACD is lower at this point. At the point of the signal, the MACD is lower than the peak, the wave, the top wave before. So that's another sign that it's not very, very nice. Now let's go further. Let's see. Here is a really nice signal into falling. You can see these stairs in stochastic going down. This peak, lower peak, and this one is also lower. Then we have the price is higher than the wave before. However, the MACD is slightly lower, so it is diverging. There is some kind of a weakness, but I couldn't call this a divergency just yet. But there is a visible weakness. So I do decide to take this trade. And the stop is going to be at the previous, so it's also a technical. Each stop here pretty much in this day was technical, not fixed. So here our stop is 9 points and take profit is 29 points down below here. However, we are unlucky, and with one small blimp, unfortunately the stop has been taken and we have lost 9 points. That's okay, that happens, and a lot of times you'll have this experience as well when you have a stop set out and it just comes to the stop, touches it barely with just an inch, and then it keeps going into the direction that you've predicted. It can be very frustrating. But don't worry, in this kind of a situation, you can always re-enter into falling when you see another signal. So here we can see another wave beyond the trigger going down. The stochastic isn't very nice, it's higher than the previous one, but I still have taken it because once again MACD is more important, and here we can see that there still is a chance for falling. Our stop was pulled, but it's pretty much in the same range. So it is pretty much the same signal as the one before, but well, we'll give it a chance and we'll see what happens. Of course, our stop is as always technical, and it is set out to be at 9 points. So our take profit is right here, just almost in the same position as the one before, also 27 points. Let's see what happens. And here, again, it was going against us a little bit a few times, but nothing too bad. It's all bearable. Now let's see what happens further. Still no weakness in neither stochastic or MACD. Everything is converging, and the trend is working quite nicely. And here, with the smallest blimp, we take our take profit of 27 points. So we are happy and everything is great. Now let's see what happens further. Well, we could have kept it and made more points, but the statistics and mathematics are the statistics and mathematics, so we don't have to bother thinking about it. We wanted to take 27 points, we did, we are happy, we made a profit, that's it. If the market goes again even more in the same direction, that's okay. Now here is our next signal that we have taken. Entry here, as you can see, there is a wave above the trigger, yet it is quite difficult to see. These bars are almost at the same level. However, this one here, as you can see, is larger than the one before. So it is our signal, and the beginning of the next candle is our entry. And here is our stop at 7 points. So our take profit will be at 21 points. And this is our take profit level. Let's see if we had reached it. And nope, we did not reach it. And here we can see another signal for falling, a wave. Again, this wave is not as nice looking as these kinds of visible waves, but this is still a wave and this is still a signal. And so is in stochastic. It's very deep into red and it's hard to see this bend, but it is good enough for us. Since we are into climbing, it's good enough to leave it and to change into falling. So in the same position, by the end of this candle, we close our previous climbing position, so our long position, and as it ends, as this candle finishes, which is also our signal candle, and the next one opens, this is our entry candle, and we enter into falling. So once again, at the end of this candle, we close our climbing position, our long position, and we open our short position as the signal candle, entry candle opens, and our stop is right here. So that's quite simple, and our stop is set out to be at 4 points, so our take profit is at 16 points down here. And yes, this trade we made just plus 2 points, but hey, 2 points is still a profit. I know that we could have closed it here or somewhere around here and maybe we would have made 10-15 points, but again, we need to leave the trade only when we see a reason, and unfortunately we only saw the reason here. And if we would have closed the trade here, we would have done it only because we saw a profit. And this is a very big mistake, to leave a trade just because we see a profit. We need to leave it either with take profit when the price reaches our take profit, or because we see a technical reason to do so and a signal in opposite direction. So we enter into falling here, and this is our stop with 4 points, and this is our level of take profit. And let's see if it actually works out, and boom, yep, in a straight line with no weaknesses, we reach this level and we take plus 16 points. Now let's see what happens, and yes, it goes further down, but once again, that's okay, nothing to worry about. Here, there is pretty much no signal, there is some kind of a wave here, but this is too invisible, and I don't like these kinds of really hard to see and identify a signal. If you remember, if you don't see it, it's probably not there. If it's hard for you to see, it's probably also not there. And let's see what happens. Still no signal so far. Still no signal. And here, there is our next signal. Finally, some kind of a wave above the trigger and a hook in stochastic. This is a really nice hook. So we enter here. Our stop is set out to be 8 points, so we need to take at least, here's our take profit, we need to take at least 24 points. Let's see what happens. And here It is bending, but again, it worked. We are in profit, so we are not worried about this crossover, and we just want to see what happens next. And it goes right into our take profit, and we take the profit of 24 points. Fantastic. And we don't really care about what happens next. Oh, it goes a little bit higher, but once again, our mathematics are our mathematics. Now here, we can see a really nice signal into falling. Once again, you really need to pay attention to these bars, and this bar right here is a little bit larger than the one before. Really a little bit, but it is. And here in stochastic we can see stairs down. This peak is lower than the one before, and this one is lower than the one before. So in stochastic and MACD it does look okay. And here we have our stop, which is set up to be at 5 points. And unfortunately, and yes, and our take profit is 15, just 5 times 3, 15, and the take profit is right here. However, unfortunately, we are stopped out with just one candle right here. So we lose 5 points. But then we find ourselves the next signal, just like the previous time that we did it. We are taking the second signal as well, and we are using this position right here as our stop level, and it is 8 points away. Therefore, our stop is 8 points, and our take profit is at 24 points. And let's see how it works out. It works very nicely. So yes, here is our take profit. And the trend is working very nicely. The MACD is converging and the stochastic is converging as well. And here our take profit is pulled and we make 24 points. Fantastic. And then the trend continues going down. And yes, we could have made more, but once again, remember that we don't care about what happens after our take profit is pulled. We will see in the end of the day, we are still quite in a good shape. And now here the market moves against us. If we were to keep this trade, the market moves against us very rapidly, but there is no signal, there is no structure, there is no wave above the MACD, above the trigger line, and there are no stairs in stochastic and no hooks. So yeah, we would have made even less profit if we did not close the trade automatically with our take profit. Now further on, there is no signal yet. There is no structure, no waves above or beyond the MACD, or nothing to see, nothing really to use. And stochastic is the same between 80 and 20, and nothing really that interesting. However, here we do find ourselves a really nice, difficult to see, but again, pay attention to the bars, really nice entry into climbing. And so is the stochastic hook in the neutral zone. And we enter with a stop of 5 points. So our stop is right here, once again the technical one, and our take profit is here of 15 points. And as the trade goes on, you see it's climbing very slowly, nothing really too interesting, very slow. And we actually never reach our take profit, and we end up having another signal into falling here, and we change our direction. So we leave the climbing trend, so the long position, and we open the short position simultaneously in the same place. So as we see the signal into falling here, we simultaneously close our long position and open a short position with a really small stop of 3 points. Now let's see what happens. If I remember correctly, we are almost stopped out right here, but it did not stop us out. It was 1 point until our stop, but it did not stop us out, and boom, a really nice hectic move down. In the end of the day, a lot of times there are hectic moves when somebody is unloading some of the stocks or futures into the market, and so leaving the market, and sometimes there are these kinds of moves. And our green arrow is on the bottom of the candle, but in reality our trade closed around this position here with our take profit of just 9 points. So our stop was just as small as 3 points, and our 1 to 3 ratio, all we wanted to take was 9 points, and we did it. So, and then after that, after 8 o'clock, there isn't much happening. So I did not trade anymore pretty much, and we traded for almost 12 hours. So we've taken apart 12-hour trading day, 11-hour trading day. This, in my opinion, is enough for one day. So in total, we've had 13 trades, 5 were in minus, 8 were in plus, and we made 100 plus points profit. We made 102 or 109 points, but then after the commissions it will be about 90 points into profit. And if you're trading one full futures, which isn't very much, you would make over $2,000 on this day. And as you could see, the moves were not perfect, they were quite complicated, and in many places we were stopped out quite a few times. But this is okay, this is part of this work, and once again, this is just indicators. And this was quite a difficult day. Some of the days you can make 100 points from just one signal. In the first one that we've taken was plus 24 points. Sometimes there are days when you can make plus 100 points on your first trade and be done with it. But never count on this kind of a trade. Always try your best to go through the day. It's like a battle, you know, you battle through the negative trades, the positive trades, and then in the end of the day you sit there, you wipe off the sweat off your forehead and you see that you just made 100 points overall, or 30 points or 20 points, whatever. 100 points is quite a substantial professional result, but even making 20, 30 points, I think you can do this, and I really believe in you. So, all right. Good luck on the test. Please take your time with homework. It's extremely important, and soon I'll give you a few more systems, and then we will review and remember and recap the rules, and then you'll have to do some practical work on your own before we move on to the next trading system that will improve this system substantially. All right, see you in the next lesson.